Hello folks, Simon Kemp from Kepios here with a look at the top stories from our new Digital 2021 July Global Statshot report. Don't forget that you can dig into the full report for free over on datareportal.com, but in this video we'll take a quick look at this quarter's top headlines. Starting at number 10, more than a quarter of the world's internet users aged 16 to 64 say that they check health symptoms online. Colombians are the most likely to consult online resources when it comes to researching health matters, with more than 4 in 10 saying that they do so on a weekly basis. At the other end of the scale, Japanese people are the least likely to take their healthcare questions online, with just 1 in 10 saying that they've done so in the past 7 days. However, with considerable numbers of people checking health symptoms online on such a regular basis, it's clear that there's plenty more opportunity in the world of digital healthcare. At number 9, the latest data from Alexa.com shows that Chinese websites now account for 7 of the world's 10 most visited websites. Chinese e-commerce properties are particularly popular, with Tmall, Taobao and JD all ranking in the global top 10. However, Alexa's data also shows that the vast majority of these sites' visitors come from within China itself. Roughly 95% of the traffic of those top e-commerce sites comes from within their home market, with visitors from the United States accounting for barely 2%. Now, these global figures show just how large and influential China's internet population has become, but also how different the country's internet landscape is to the one that we see in the rest of the world. In at number 8, data from GWI's new gaming dataset shows that the majority of the world's internet users play video games at least once per week. Overall, the company's research shows that 85% of internet users play video games, with that figure rising to more than 9 in 10 amongst Gen Z. The company's deep dive research into global gaming habits reveals that Filipinos are the most active gamers, with more than 43% of gamers in the country saying that they play games on a daily basis. Meanwhile, more than 4 in 10 gamers in Japan and the United States say that they also play games every day. Worldwide, more than 1 in 3 gamers say that they play video games each day, while 84% say that they play games at least once per week. So with the huge reach of video games, the high frequency of gameplay, and the wide variety of gaming contexts and environments, it's clearly time for marketers to take gaming more seriously. Next up, the latest edition of the Digital News Report shows that most adults now turn to social media to find out what's going on in the world. 56% of adults aged 18 and above say that they use social platforms to discover and consume news content, which is more than twice the number who read newspapers. Overall, more than 4 in 5 adults turn to online channels for news, compared to just 2 in 3 who watch news on television. Now, as you might expect, the picture does vary by age, but with almost half of adults aged 55 and above also turning to social media for news content, these behaviours are clearly not restricted to younger people. However, with barely 1 in 4 people saying that they trust news content in social media, brands and publishers need to think carefully about how they share news content via social channels. At number 6, new data from Ookla shows that mobile internet connection speeds have jumped by 60% over the past year. Mobile users around the world now enjoy an average data connection speed of more than 55 megabits per second, which, at least in theory, is fast enough for them to simultaneously stream 2 separate 4K movies. The rollout of 5G networks has played an important role in this rapid increase, and users in 13 countries now enjoy average mobile internet connection speeds in excess of 100 megabits per second. And what's more, average mobile connections are now faster than average fixed connections in 44 countries. Meanwhile, data from cable.co.uk shows that the average price of a gigabyte of mobile data has come down in most countries around the world over the past year, making mobile connectivity even more compelling. So, while screen size is still an important consideration, marketers can rest assured that most mobile internet users will happily watch online video via a mobile connection. Entering the top 5 for this quarter, various data points in our latest report show that people are making increasing use of online translation tools. Google Trends data shows that translation-related queries accounted for 3 of the top 20 Google searches around the world over the past 3 months. And GWI's data also shows how important these tools have become, with 1 in 3 global internet users aged 16 to 64 saying that they've used an online translation tool in the past 7 days. However, this figure rises to more than 50% across countries in Latin America and Indonesia. But while these findings are interesting in themselves, they have important implications for marketers. For example, these trends suggest that people are increasingly looking beyond local content and are actively consuming content in languages other than their own native tongue. As a result, marketers may need to review instances where they adopt different pricing and product strategies across different countries, especially because cross-border e-commerce activity is also on the rise. At number 4 this quarter, we've seen some interesting changes in recent months in the time that people spend with different kinds of media. The latest research from GWI shows that people have been spending slightly less time online each day, but slightly more time watching television. Now, these changes only amount to a few minutes difference each day, but over time that still adds up. We've also seen more meaningful increases in the time that people are spending with print media and with broadcast radio. People say that they've increased the time that they spend with physical print media by more than 8% over the past 90 days, while the time that they spend listening to broadcast radio is also up by 3.5%. Meanwhile, despite the dip in overall internet time, people say that they're spending an average of 2 minutes longer each day using social media. Now again, that might not sound like a lot, but added up, these figures mean that the world's social media users spent an additional 1.5 million years using social platforms between April and June. We're sticking with social media for number 3 this quarter, with new research showing that social networks are the most popular online destinations. Data from GWI shows that more than 95% of working-age internet users have used at least one social network and one messaging platform in the past month, ranking these services ahead of all other online activities, even search. Search engines and web portals come in at number 3 in the ranking, but at 84%, they attract 10% fewer internet users each month than social platforms do. Meanwhile, 6 in 10 internet users say that they visited some kind of online shopping platform in the past month, while data from Elsewhere in GWI's survey shows that more than half of all internet users aged 16 to 64 go shopping online each week. Now, our second top story this quarter is the ongoing surge in social media user growth. Kepios analysis shows that global user numbers have increased by 520 million over the past 12 months, equating to year-on-year growth of more than 13%. The data also shows that global social media users have grown by 750 million since the start of the COVID pandemic, with elevated growth rates showing no signs of slowing. Now, it is worth highlighting that the apparent acceleration in growth over the past quarter was at least in part due to an upward correction in Facebook's numbers. However, because the company conducts these correction exercises on a regular basis, the annual growth rates that we've reported this quarter should still be representative of actual year-on-year trends. But these numbers don't just offer insights into social media growth. Many of the biggest increases have come from countries that haven't been able to update internet user numbers in recent months due to research challenges caused by the coronavirus pandemic. And as a result, we can expect to see a meaningful upward correction in internet user numbers once research and reporting can return to normal. And our top story in July 2021 also relates to social media, but this one's a bit more complex. Now, despite showing an increase in Instagram's global advertising reach of 100 million users over the past 90 days, Facebook's tools also show that there have been some important drops in potential Instagram ad reach across Europe. Now, given the geographic specificity of these changes, our reading of these numbers suggests that new EU privacy regulations may be the primary cause of these drops. And reinforcing that analysis, an article published in Facebook's Business Help Center states that the company anticipates an impact on campaigns in the European region, and businesses that advertise to people in the European region might experience decreased performance. Now, it's important to stress that the drop in Instagram's potential ad reach across Europe relates specifically to ad targeting, and we don't believe that these drops will be replicated in Instagram's monthly active user numbers. However, for marketers, these changes have real importance, especially because these changes will potentially affect all platforms and publishers, not just those operated by Facebook. And moreover, it's not just changes to EU law that will affect marketing performance over the coming months. Recent changes in Apple's app tracking policies will also reduce the options available to advertisers. And the key takeaway here is that these various changes may significantly impact marketers' ability to target ads over the coming months. However, these changes won't diminish the broader opportunities available to marketers within digital and social media platforms. So your essential next step as a marketer is to review your digital targeting strategies and identify which activities may be impacted by approaches that target using parameters such as demographics. And my advice here is to build some contingency into your plans using less intrusive forms of targeting, with contextual advertising being an obvious opportunity. Now that's all that we've got time for in this video, but you'll find loads more data and analysis in the full Digital 2021 July Global StatShot report. Thanks as always to Hootsuite and We Are Social for making these reports possible, and to our wonderful data partners for sharing their valuable insights. And thanks to you for joining me today too. I look forward to seeing you again on our next video.